Good morning, Earthlings. This is your hotness, keeping it real for you from wherever you are. In our latest news, we have if governments and companies stick to the assumptions set in 2015, will not just surpass 1.5 Celsius global warming limit, but hit an average warming of 2.8 Celsius by 2100. Believe me, we don't want to get there. It's going to get hot as limiting warming to 2 Celsius would accelerate unpredictable environmental events, leaving humanity to confront these challenges without a clear guidance beyond 2030. And that's like 6 years from now. So let's rewind for a sec. Why is this change happening so fast? Let's take a look back in history. Japan, 1031. Obviously, Japanese people are always showing us the way. The state seized control of paper production, and commoners started reusing waste paper. Rumor has it that even like reused paper was more valuable for Japanese people than new paper, just because it has history. And they will even use it to create poems or love letters. 1776, New York, because of Independence War. Americans from the British colony, we started recycling metal to help in the war. 1813, the shoddy process by Benjamin Law. So basically this guy, he will just grind all the wool he could get from old clothes and rags and respin it into yarn. After this time, it seemed recycling was taking off, right? Becoming more popular and being practiced all over the world. In World War II, 1942, when Salvage for Victory propaganda pushed recycling waste cooking fat. They started collecting it from local meat dealers to recycle and being used as explosives. Kind of weird, but yeah, they did it. I was kind of concerned though when I saw that not long after World War II, plastic bottle was invented. 1947 by DuPont Nathaniel Whitmore King. A transformative shift from traditional glass to this versatile PET plastic. I will assume by that time, we have already been thinking as a society to recycle at a large scale, right? We will also recycle this one in particular, a plastic that we will use to contain our food and our drinks every day of our lives. Yeah. But then I saw this trend in 1955. Life magazine published a large story titled Throwaway Living, pushing the idea that single-use items were the norm and a necessary part of modern life. Can someone please explain this? This is kind of when we started fucking it up with plastic. Like, seriously, I think at this point we have been so disconnected from our planet, our roots, that we forgot we're just filling our homes with trash. This is why trends are sometimes controversial. They can either influence positively or negatively, in this case, the latter. Life magazine planted the idea of waste and how to dispose of it in a very shallow and selfish manner, as if it had no impact on our environment and our society in the future. Now, what do you think is happening today? The same still happens. We just follow trends. Well, ignoring the problem and sweeping it under the rug will not make it go away. It will catch up sooner than later. While researching and writing a sci fi movie, the main reason I started all this, I came across a lot of information that discourages climate change around the world. And to be honest, in a way, I think I started my journey writing about and researching climate change because of my own concerns. This consumed me more and more until I had that big trigger, 2020 elections. And also, let's not forget about COVID. Those events made me reflect. I started asking myself the big questions like, who's running this show? Are we at the mercy of big corporations and that's it? How can I help to make things better? What's the point of this life if we are not working every day? Is it healthy to be on the screen for so long? I'm sure some of you can relate. The media often downplays the issues, and the governments and large corporations overlook and run different agendas. But the truth is, we must face reality and take action because there's no time left to keep putting it off. There is a lot of misinformation out there, which has almost trapped us paralyzing us so that we just see life pass by. We cannot even compare what we can do or not because enterprises and governments run today's agendas mostly for their own benefit. This has fueled us with polarization, weakening our community bonds and our power together. And the most affected aspect is our actions towards our environment because we are distracted by making money to have a better life and the pressure of fitting in, picking a side because of personal interests. We're so deep with social problems at this point that we have forgotten a much bigger and more pressing issue, like the decline and deterioration of our planet's health. My whole goal here is to show you that there are ways out of this shithole. We just need to clear things out. Social problems will always exist, but we now face a bigger and scarier reality, and it is not a movie, guys. It is our lives. To keep global warming below 1.5 Celsius by 2030, companies and governments must target significant reductions, cutting coal consumption by 80%, gas 50%, oil reserves by 30%. This means a substantial portion of these reserves will need to remain unused. These kinds of logistics take time, and corporations are already organizing themselves to work towards a better future by submitting an annual report called ESG report to governments. An ESG report is like a company's report card, showing its impact on the environment and people and how the company is being managed. So by being public, ESG reports can help people like you and me decide whether to work or invest for them or buy from a company that is doing things the right way. This report states the progress of how each corporation has reduced per year their carbon dioxide footprint to get to a better spot by 2030. However, one of the big problems right now is that many of these companies do not count on a specific department dedicated to fulfilling the ESG report tasks, causing many employees to receive more tasks than they can handle. Cooperation among governments and the private sector is crucial to achieving climate resilient and sustainable development. But we cannot depend solely on them. We civilians must return to our roots and learn from our ancestors. I know this is not the solution you wanted, Karen, but I'm here for you. You will be fine and look like a goddess after all this madness, I swear. Learning from our ancestors can definitely help us lead more sustainable lives today. Here are 5 key lessons to consider. Living within means. Many traditional societies knew their environment's limits and resources. They understood the importance of not taking more than what could be replenished. We can apply this by consuming less and being mindful of waste. 2. Our ancestors often relied on strong community networks where sharing and cooperation were essential for survival. We can benefit from reviving a sense of community to tackle issues like isolation and excessive consumption. 3. Historically, people ate seasonally, consuming what was available at different times of the year. This meant fresher, healthier diets and less environmental impact compared to today's global supply chains that they ship everywhere worldwide. Eating locally and seasonally can reduce our carbon footprint. 4. Many indigenous cultures practice holistic approaches to managing their environment, like rotating farming plots and integrating crop and animal farming, which preserves soil fertility and biodiversity. And 5. Our ancestors were commonly profoundly respectful of nature, viewing it as a sacred, integral part of life rather than just a resource to be exploited. Integrating these lessons into our modern lifestyle will give us a more sustainable and balanced relationship with our planet. This behavior change will break barriers and expand the range of available actions. We just have to want to save this planet, and badly. The predicted risks and adaptation challenges show that we need to act faster than we realize to achieve sustainability and adapt to climate change. If global warming exceeds 2 Celsius in certain areas, biodiversity and many ecosystems will disappear. They would be out of the picture, starting with coastlines and islands. There would be risky exposure to effects of ocean acidification through consuming seafood, breathing the air around beaches, and experiencing the physical and mental effects of marine ecosystems. If we act globally and quickly, we'll take advantage of a small but fast closing chance to ensure a livable and sustainable future for everyone. Remember that trash I told you to split into last week? Well, I want you to identify what you put in that recycle bin. Many municipalities in the US have recycling programs for glass, aluminum, cans, PET, plastic, and cardboard. In the link below, I will leave a list of the programs in the US depending on your state where you can recycle this material. You can also see if you already have a recycling bin in your neighborhood, what is the company in charge of your specific recycling system, and make sure they are responding the way they should. The best known manufacturing companies are Amcor for PET plastic, Alcoa for aluminum, and Tetra Pak for aluminized cardboard. So if your neighborhood is associated with these companies, you should be okay. If not, in the link below, you will find my giveaway with the best places to ensure your trash gets recycled correctly. Let's start making an impact by recycling, raising awareness of how we can improve this practice, and applying what our ancestors have taught us about sustainability. So that you don't forget, there is this little phrase I came up with to remember every day before we start our days. Take with intention, link together, eat with the seasons, and rekindle respect for nature. We have 6 years. There's still time. This is why I dropped everything and came here to show you that despite all the harm we have done to planet Earth, yet here she is, all in one piece. Barely. If we all work together, we can still have a better future. Don't let this hot mess wipe us out. This is our planet. Let's act like it. Thank you so much, oh fantastic denizens of the multiverse, for listening to Hot Mess from Earth. Stay tuned for more and tell me in the comments what you think.